Alright guys, welcome back. We got one more episode of voiceover because my ions are all dead and my little GoPro is the camera I've got. Well, this episode's been sitting for about 2 weeks. My son was in town from Marine Corps, had some time off, and we made good time of it, and I didn't even mess with videos with developing any until now. This was a morning at the Mayan Princess. Went out by myself, caught a bunch of fish. And this first one is a good starter. It's a small fish. He's kind of hooked right in the behind the pectoral fin, so he's hard to spin around and get a handle on. But we'll get the hooks off of him. And this fish brings up something that you sometimes run into, and I try to practice, even if I'm going to keep that fish, I practice my technique of how to get a gill hook out or a hook deep in the throat. So what I'm doing is I grab that center piece, the white patch between the gills on the throat of the fish, and if you grab that and pull down gently, he'll open his mouth and you can see to get that hook out. If he was a bigger fish, I'd toss him back because it was done pretty quickly, but he was a little guy, good for eating. I put him in the bag. This fish is a nice one. And I had just caught a Spanish. It's still under my right leg over there, flopping around a little bit. But 2 fish at once, I'm not going to complain. So this one is a pretty good fish. I had my hands full, didn't turn on the camera till late in the game. But like I said, he's pretty stocky and sturdy. He's about 53 inches, or she. Good looking fish. So I'm going to take a minute and try and get these hooks out as quickly as I can. Keep this fish where it's maximize its chance of survival, because kingfish don't take long being out of the water before they just won't recover. So I'm going to get these hooks out, flip it over, make sure everything is out, and we'll turn it right side up and let you get a look at it. Always having to manage those those cords, but the leashes will save your rod sometimes, so they're worth the effort. Beautiful fish. Yep, that's right. There's my other little Spanish. It's about 26 inches. Nice solid Spanish. On this next one, you can see me being pulled away from the rig, and now I'm quite a bit further out. I'm still at the first rig. There's no reason to move. It's one fish after another, and I kind of enjoy that kind of action, so I haven't even bothered to go to the other rigs yet. This one's a decent fish. It's mid-40s. Pretty easy recovery on this one, and you can notice there's an interesting belly scar on it. I don't know what's up with that. I didn't make it. Kind of got a scar on its back too. And this one is again hook deep. The front 2 hooks were outside on the face. The third hook is deep in the gills somewhere. So I'm gently grabbing. Number one, because I don't want to hurt the gills on the fish in case I can get it done quickly and release it. But also because you may just stick yourself with that third hook because it's going to be right there by your thumb or your finger somewhere in those gills. So I'm still trying to get a look at it, and I'm realizing this doesn't bode well for the fish because I've got to get a better position so I can see down in the mouth. Do a little surgery. Poor kingfish. I was hoping to release this one, but I think this one's going to be a keeper. So you can see I switched hands to be able to see the side where I can get a better view of the hook. But if you grab that center piece, the white strip between the jaws on the bottom, you can pull gently and it'll open its mouth up every time. And then you're looking, I mean, your eyeball is almost touching the jaws of this fish, so you got to be careful because they are super sharp teeth. But I get a look, I can see it, it's right there by my fingers. So I gently pull it out, but at this point it's been a while. So I'm going to pump this fish up and down in the water a little bit, see if I can't get it going. But unfortunately This one did not get kick started, and I didn't feel like it was going to survive, so I put it in the bag. So this fish is taking me on a pretty decent ride away from the rig. And usually a kingfish, sometimes it's hard to tell, but usually if they take you on a pretty good sleigh ride, it's going to be a pretty good fish. So I'm really hopeful this is a good fish. Pretty limited visibility this day, so you don't know until you get it within about 6 feet. But it's playing like a big fish. I'm really hoping that's what we got. And sure enough, this is a pretty sturdy, stocky king. He's right at about 49 inches. Try to get these lure hooks out. For some reason they get hooked with the lures. They turn away at the very last second and it's too late. They get caught in the belly or in behind the gills or somewhere. Looking over my lure. So I got him detached pretty quickly. I spun him around so you can see him in better light, but good looking fish. I'm going to get a quick measurement and let this guy go. And if you wonder, I keep watching. He flips over, he swims off right. All right, good job. All right, this fish, I'm at the second rig now, and I don't know if you saw, but at Wally, the big rig, there's a crew boat sitting there. They're doing whatever they do at the rigs sometimes, so I'm not in a hurry to get out there. I've got a quiet rig to myself. I've got fish. This one's not real big. I don't care. It's fine. It's a solid little fish. He's about 38 inches. He's a good eating size. I never turn down any kingfish. Y'all know that. So get those hooks off. We'll get a look at him. Put him in the floorboard. He's going in the bag. I also just caught a little pompano jigging off the bottom, and he's not huge, but he's legal. And if you've ever eaten pompano, there's my king. You know that pompano is fantastic fish, so I'm hoping to get back to that rig and jig on the bottom and pull up another pompano or two. First though, we're gonna get another kingfish because the kingfish hit our bait, so that's kind of what we do. So this one's another respectable king. He's kind of hard to hang on to. Those big ones can be that way. Bring him around for a second try. Don't be afraid. Don't take those risky grabs if the hooks are anywhere near. Wait until he goes by the right way and you can grab pretty easily. So this one's on a kingfish rig, on a wire rig with a ribbon. So I'm going to get myself some slack and try and get these hooks out of it. I'm hoping it will happen pretty easily. I put my rod in the rod holder because he's pretty big. I don't want him jerking the rod over the side and getting it all wet. So I'm looking for where those hooks are. This one probably going to take flipping them over and digging a deep hook out. Maybe not though. I'm always aware of how long I'm keeping that fish out of the water, but I got him out pretty quickly. Good looking fish. He's 49 inches. I'm gonna get a quick measurement and let him go. So I'm finally getting back up to the rig without fish hitting my lures, and there goes my lure. So it's going off. The way it's pulling in little short bursts, I think I'm going to go ahead and hook onto let my rig hook hold me close to the rig and hook on and hope to drop a bait a couple more times for some of those pompano, but I got someone knocking on one of the rods. It's making short runs. I'm thinking it's a Spanish mackerel, so I haven't immediately unhooked to go chase the fish. And the more I reel it, the more I'm pretty sure it's a Spanish mackerel, and I can get away with just sitting here and reeling it in. It won't go into the rig. Yep, sure acting like a Spanish. So it's running a little bit towards the rig, but it's really just going in circles beneath me. It's not making an effort to get in there. It's a good Spanish. They're good eating. My secretary loves these things, so I'll take every one I can get if I can get him in. And this was on a ribbon fish rig, I believe. A big Spanish will eat a ribbon fish. Cobia will eat ribbons. Kings will eat ribbons. So when I pull up next to a rig, it's normal for me to leave a ribbon fish out. If I'm in 50 feet of water, I'll put it 20-25 feet down. Oh, that's on the lure. So the lure, I'm figuring out this Halco 110 is not very big, and now my other rod's going off, so I'm unhooking because that's running better. But that little Halco 110 is very effective. If you just stop and let it fall down, fish will hit it. Never seen another lure like it, but I'm glad it works that way. So I got this fish. It didn't pull me too far away. It's not a giant kingfish, but it's a decent king. And like a lot of them on a wire rig, one of those hooks is behind the gills, and it kind of makes it hard to position that fish and get them to run where they put the tail in front of you. Just keep working it. There it is. Let me get those hooks off. And that's my third eligible king. He's a good size. I'm gonna get a measurement of him real quick. There's my Spanish. He's like 27 inches. He's a pretty good one. It's a good day.